Damn. Damn, I should have just trusted it. Damn it. Damn, I should have just trusted it. Oh shit. Hmm. Hey, what's up, Corgo? What's up? Hmm. Hmm. I wonder if I'm playing with fire right here. I mean, this thing looks like it wants to drop, but I mean, the bulls are definitely holding up this range. I mean, that definitely looks like a strong top. That looks like a strong top to me. But price is at an area of support. I mean, it's been bouncing off this area all day. Well, all night. So I don't think I'm gambling here, but I think the only thing that I should be concerned of is like a stop run candle or something like that. 'Cause this thing doesn't have the support to move higher. It doesn't have it. There's no support right here. And it already looks like the market already ran into an area of resistance and the bulls are doing what they do. And man, I swear I always pick the days where the market goes crazy to have these appointments that keeps me away from the market all day. Mind you, I mean, we made all our money before the stream ended this morning, but damn, the market, I mean, shit, the market was going crazy today. Already taken down the data, and the data shows that the market moved so much today. So much today. Today's the 11th. Mm, yeah, I might be on the. Yeah. I mean, would you call this a bearish range or bullish range? Probably like a bullish range, probably. Yeah, because I mean, it took out pre-market's highs, so I guess I'll call that like a bullish range. 322, 322, 475 points to the upside. A 413 point rejection and a 485 point bounce. And then there was another rejection, but I didn't even take that down. So this is how the Nasdaq moved today. We started the session off with a 320 point move to the downside. It was met with a 475 point move to the upside, a 413 point rejection that was followed by a 485 point bounce, plus a small little rejection towards the end of the day. I didn't even count this part. I didn't even count that. But the Nasdaq, let's actually see how much this was so I can just have it for documentation's sake, because I didn't really take it. Okay, so that high of that candle was 19,681. The low of this candle before the close was 19,371, and that was a 310 rejection from the highs. Crazy, man. All right, so altogether, the Nasdaq moved about 310 plus 485 plus 413 plus 475 plus 322. The Nasdaq moved over 2,000 points today, and this is why I no longer even look at the ES. My focus shouldn't even be over there. The Nasdaq moved more than 2,000 points today, 2,005 points. That's how much the Nasdaq moved today. Yeah, JD, I feel the same way too. I mean, with all the bullishness that we've seen, and then this bearishness that we're seeing now, it's only a matter of time before we see, that bull run start off. Because I mean, uh, we haven't seen these levels in the market for at least a year. And there was not a lot of money to the upside anymore. All the money now is to the downside, meaning that all the people that got their limit orders sitting, all big money got their limit orders sitting to the downside. There's really no more money up there at all-time highs. If the market's not going to take out all-time highs, then the money is down here. And that's all I see. I mean, people can blame Elon or Trump with his tariffs. But when I look at the charts, I just see where all the money is, and there was just no more money going up higher. If the market is not going to take out all-time highs. I mean, that all-time highs, I mean, once the market is getting close to all-time highs, the question that you always got to ask yourself is the market ready to take it out? If price sits here for a while, I might just close this, honestly. Might just close this. Because I mean, the market could drop, but the momentum right now is bullish. So, I mean, hmm. Yeah, what's up, Investor Z? What's up? Oh, was it? Did it pull back to like the 618 or something like that? Yeah, that move in August, that definitely was out of no. Well, I wouldn't say that it was out of nowhere, but that move down did shock a lot of people. It probably shocked a lot of bears. I'm pretty sure I was shocked around that time too when we had the same move down in August. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get out of this as soon as possible. I mean, if I see some, I mean, if I see this kind of stiffen up, then I'll get out of it. I mean, because I mean, I'm looking at it. It does look like it wants to go higher, but I mean, they keep knocking this thing down and they keep buying it back up here. Mm, mm. I mean, to be absolutely safe, I would have to put $1,000 of risk and put my stop literally above that high, which I don't necessarily want to do. But I mean, we can look at the hourly chart. Oh shit. Damn, that thing's oh shit, that's about to go up. That's definitely gonna go up. Okay, let me close out. Man, what? Okay. All right. All right. That's my fault. I should have looked at the hourly chart before I took this short. It's my fault. Right when I look at the hourly chart now, the market was like, oh, gotcha. Gotcha. But yeah, that's definitely about to go up. Unless because it does look like the hourly chart is finding support at the above this trend line. Mm, mm. I will say this though. I find it very interesting. I mean, those that were with me this morning, arrange day. It's interesting that we was talking about the leadership over there in Canada, and we got some big Canada news today about how they were talking tough, and then when push came to shove, they folded, as to be expected. Between all right, So 19,260 to 19,230. 19,130. That's 19,120. Okay. Yeah. So Investor C says the more they fold, the higher the market will go. Yeah. Because I mean, these tariffs are not something that Trump is quote unquote wanting to implement. He's using these tariffs as leverage to negotiate a deal and to get what he wants for the United States. And of course, you know, some people are going to misunderstand that, but tariffs are choices. Inflation, that's something that's not a choice. And as I talk about this, it's interesting that no one, like literally when we was heading toward a recession, literally we could have actually been in one. Nobody was talking about it. They was talking about how Bidenomics were such a great thing when we was literally suffering from inflation, and then Trump does tariffs and everybody just loses their minds. People are interesting. But the mainstream media didn't tell people to be fearful. That's probably why people weren't. The news didn't tell us to be fearful, so we don't have to be fearful. The news told us, or is telling us, that the economy is great. Even though when I go down to the store and everything is double what it was about a couple of years ago, or they can no longer afford the things that they used to be able to afford. But the news is telling me that the economy is great, so it is. Well, now the news is telling me to worry about Trump tariffs, so I should worry about that now. Mm. Yeah, I watched this video, and it's very interesting. It suggested that politics replaced religion. Politics replaced religion, and I agree with that. Some people saw Kamala as their savior for whatever reason, and people see Trump as their savior and Elon as their savior for whatever reason. These people are not here to save you. These people are playing a totally different type of game. They're cementing themselves in history. They're building a legacy. People at that level, the only thing they care about is their legacy, and everybody else is just a part of it. They're not here to save you. Now, if what they're doing saves you, then it's just all right, yeah, fine. I mean, I didn't mean to do it, but hey, I'll take it. But when someone calls themselves a visionary, they mean just that. They envision a world where they build a new world, a more efficient, better world, and with them at the helm, in the captain's seat, them at the forefront. So off topic though, since Disney has been putting out such horrible movies lately, I just been kind of not necessarily boycotting their movies. Well, I think boycotting would probably be a strong word. Avoiding watching any of their new movies, but my brother wanted to see the Captain America movie, and I was like, I don't think I haven't even seen I have yet to see. Well, until today, I haven't really cared about Captain America. I don't necessarily care too much about Marvel movies like that. I mean, the first couple of ones were really good. Endgame was it was alright. It was straight. But I will give this Captain America movie a solid 7.5 out of 10. It was better than I expected. It wasn't they wasn't trying to preach nothing. It was just a president White House down type of movie where they had a mission, they ran into some obstacles, they solved it by the end of the movie, and everybody lived happily ever after. It was pretty decent. I didn't expect that from Disney. I really didn't, because they want to put someone that lives an alternative lifestyle into it for no reason, or they want to put people in powerful. I mean, I guess they kind of did. I guess they kind of did, but it wasn't in your face like, yeah, this is who I am, deal with it kind of crap. Like, we don't go to yeah, that type of stuff. It was a decent movie. I'll give it that. It's not going to be winning any Oscars anytime soon, but it was a decent movie. Yeah. Yeah, dude, you kind of get tired of it. I mean, we're not going to sit here and say that. I mean, if they just kept it at a normal pace, like, I mean, it's nice that everybody can be included. I mean, we're not arguing that. I don't think anybody argues the fact that, we live in a world now where any creed, color, whatever, I mean, everybody's included. I think that's what everybody wants. But when you kind of force it down somebody, like when you just force feed it to somebody, it's like, oh, this, like, I mean, once I heard that if you don't date somebody in the trans community, you're transphobic, that's when I just stopped listening. After that point, I was like, okay, yeah, y'all just saying shit. You're at this point, you're just bullying people, using this, threatening their lifestyles with their jobs. That's all you guys are doing. I just stopped listening at that point. That's not that I really cared, but if you don't date somebody that, I mean, if you're a straight person and want to go the traditional route, not dating somebody in the trans or queer communities, you're homophobic or you're transphobic. What kind of stupid shit is that? And that's when I stopped. That's when I tuned out. That's where I tuned out. Everybody knows that women are capable. Everybody knows this. We don't need to be reminded of it. Everybody's capable of anything if they set their mind to it. But we don't need girl bossing and women that are 90 pounds beating up on men that are 300 pounds like they're nothing. I mean, come on. I mean, that's just stupid. That's stupid. But yeah. And I think that's why the Democrats lost so hard. I really believe so. And I think that's why everybody, or not everybody, but majority of Americans are done with DEI. I feel like it could have been something great, but it just kept getting force fed down people's throat. And as humans, we rebel. We really don't like being told what to do. But then we want people to tell us what to do. It's like a stupid contradiction in the human experience. It's just so stupid. Don't tell me what to do, but tell me what to do. What the fuck? But that's just how humans are. That's how we are. It's a big walking contradiction. Plenty of them. What's up, Alfred? What's up? Yeah, that's all they do. And that's kind of why, like, I just tuned out of that. I'll tune that conversation out because it's just a big hypocrisy. We like to it's love and this and that, but don't talk to your family members that voted for Trump. Like, what kind of shit is that? Don't invite them to the cookout. People had a choice and they chose who they wanted to be their president. I mean, that you shouldn't be losing family members. You shouldn't be telling people to not be tolerant of people's decisions. It's like be tolerant of my choices, even though it's just me screaming for attention. But I'm not going to be tolerant for your choices. It's like I said, it's a contradiction. Mm. Yeah, and some people did it, man. I watched the TikTok videos, and TikTok has really empowered a lot of people to throw away their families because they have a sense of family on an app. We live in a very dark world. Like we really do. And the only people that you really got for real is your family. For real, for real. If you can find that outside of your family, just consider yourself lucky. But when push comes to shove and resources is limited, you'll really you'll really find you'll really find out how dark this world can be. But people will disown family members like it's nothing because of their TikTok family. I've seen people in 10 decades of relationships because of this election, this past election. That's a lot of investment, in my opinion. And honestly, I guess based on my personality, I mean, if it takes an election to expose a person for who they are in terms of their commitment in the relationship, I just understand that it's not that I voted, or let me rephrase that because I didn't vote for nobody. If I were to vote for the other side, quote unquote, and that person leaves, well, it's not because I voted for that person. It's because they never wanted to be there in the first place, or they was looking for a way out. Because people stay in literally like what they accuse Trump of in terms of being a dictator, abusive towards women, et cetera, et cetera. People are literally in these same relationships in their everyday lives and they stay. So we know that's not the case. We know that's not the case. Literally in abusive relationships. Literally. And they make excuses. They love the other person. And this happens to men and women. I understand that society will make you think that it's one sided and that a woman is in situations like this, but believe it or not, it's more men that are in these abusive relationships. This happens to men more often more than women, and yet they stay. So, I mean, when it comes to that, I like to be as unbiased as possible when it comes to understanding the things that happen in life. I mean, if some, I know what I won't tolerate, but if that's what floats somebody's boat, I have no right to tell them to change. No right. Because what I've found is that if you save somebody from one fire, they'll set another fire somewhere else and wait to get saved again. Mm, mm. I mean, when men and women live like totally different lives, man. Totally different lives. I mean, that's usually going to be the case because obviously women are looking for relationships. Men are looking for relations. So just being free and being able to be with who you want without having to answer to nobody to be committed to anybody. I mean, as a male, especially if you're older, I mean, what better life could you ask for? But women, on the other hand, they are community based or they thrive in a community. Like they live by themselves, but you can see that their natural instincts to live in a community comes out. Because what do? They get a bunch of cats or they get a bunch of dogs. It's what they do. By nature, they prefer to be in a group, and that's nature. And so when they find out that, huh, nobody wants to quote unquote tie me down, and that's when that reality hits. Yeah, I kind of read this study, uh, and this is all done by design. Honestly, I kind of feel, I mean, I kind of feel bad for the people that kind of fall for the quote unquote, I can do it all, I can do bad by myself, because I read this article and it said that in the next, by 2030, and this is, let me see if I can find it instead of trying to paraphrase it. I think it was an article by Wall Street, or I think it was one of the financial firms where they're literally preparing for an era where women will all be quote unquote single or majority of them, and they will be consumers. Let me see if I can find that article. And it's like all done by design to keep them consuming. And I feel bad because you can have everything in the world, but if you don't have nobody to share it with, it doesn't mean, it doesn't feel like anything. It doesn't mean nothing if you have nobody to share it with. And for those that focus on their career, man or woman, they focus on their career. And then once they get everything that they want and they don't have anybody that they can quote unquote, because I mean, the higher you go, it's harder to trust people, unfortunately. And that's a reality. No matter how you try to perform mental gymnastics and say, I'm gonna get this money first and then I'm gonna find my wife or husband, blah, blah, blah. The higher you go, it's harder to trust people because then you'll be always asking yourself, is this person here for me or they're here for my riches and my resources? And you're not gonna be with that person. It's gonna always be in the back of your mind that, man, this person is using me. That's why they say it's lonely at the top. It doesn't mean that you're the only person at the top because there's plenty of successful people in society. Plenty of them. It's lonely at the top because you can't trust nobody. That is absolutely true. I will go so far and to group it as it's the feminine that consumes. It's the feminine that consumes. And we're all consumers. But if you can balance that out by also being a producer. Hmm. So the higher you get, the more miserable you are. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Corgo. Yeah, I definitely agree, man. I think the world gave me a daughter because at this point or later in life, I'm gonna need a daughter to keep me going in terms of uh, something to work towards, something to work for. Because something that I've learned along my journey, and it didn't take me long to realize this, but as men, and this could be anybody, but like when you got somebody coming over your house, you got someone that you consider that you would want to impress coming over, and you want to impress that person. Do you pay attention to the energy that you start to generate? You become inspired to do certain things. You become inspired to, oh man, I want to do this to my house, or I want to do that. I'm gonna clean this up. I'm gonna clean that up. Make sure that is good. That is good. That energy right there is inspired by women. That energy, and I caught myself. I caught myself using that energy one day because I was like, yeah, come over, and found myself like doing something. Like, dude, I put up a damn. What did I put up? What was it called? Like a little dry erase board to make it look like I did use it. But at the time, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that it was something that I used before. But I wanted my place to look a certain way to impress her. And like, dude, I installed, like, dude, I measured it out, made sure it was level, all kind of shit, and it was inspired by her. And then when I was done with it, I looked at it, and I was like, damn, this woman that I kind of want to impress, she inspired me to do that. And once I noticed that, I damn sure used it for sure. And that's the power of a good woman. Women are supposed to inspire you to be better as a man. And like I said, at this stage of my life, when I get older, my daughter is going to be my inspiration in terms of like going that extra step, doing extra things, making sure that I don't want her to be all mindless and shit because that's annoying. I want her to live in her own fairy tale little world, but at the same time, she needs to be aware of this of the real world. But as men, we kind of want to give the women in our lives what they dream of, or at least a little piece of it, at least. And so when her mom got pregnant, I knew it was going to be a girl, because I guess I was secretly asking for it, and I got what I wanted. Because I got boys. I got boys. I'm gonna just tell them like, the man the hell up when they get older. Oh, you don't got it. You need some help. I'll give you the guidance, but you're gonna have to figure that shit out on your own. Hey. Yeah, I just come to realize that you're not supposed to play this game for your kids, even though you would want to. Even though on TV you're told like, oh, you want to do better for your kids, blah 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 blah. God damn it! Maybe I should have just took this damn thing long where I saw it. All right. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I should have took this thing because I mean it does. I mean now it looks like it wants to go long. We'll see what happens. But anyway, when you play this game for your kids, they just don't amount to nothing. Michael Jordan, 50 Cent. You can see how, they're kids. You give them everything and that's what they want. They want to receive and not give. And I prefer not to dislike my children. When we talk, I want to be proud of them. I want to know what they achieved on their own. My brother's a girl dad though. He just had his second daughter, and I'm like, bro, you gonna be in for it. You got two girls, no boys. Shit, I'll give you one of my sons. Shit. All right. So I mean, hopefully we see a red candle here. It'll be nice to see a red candle for sure. I dedicated my heart to this short, but shit, this thing might be going long. Because earlier the thing looked like it wanted to short, like it wanted to kind of come back into this area down here and then bounce, but it looks like it's trying to come up here. That's what it looks like it wants to do. Yeah. I mean, we got to close back above that trend line. It's not a strong close, but like the Nasdaq is literally in this spot where it's like, take your bets. Am I going to rip your face off with a green engulfing candle, or am I going to pull back? Because it's just sitting at that trend line, and I'm pretty sure that's being done by design. I'm pretty sure it's gonna probably be a follow up green candle going up. Yeah, and we do got CPI tomorrow too. We do got CPI. Alfred, I have like 5 kids, bro. 5. Uh, I had all my kids young. Elon Musk. I had all my kids young, man. Young, dumb, and y'all know the rest. I had all my kids when I was 20, and then from 20 until like 25, I think that's where I had my kids all in a short time span. So I mean, that's a good thing. That means I can get rid of them all at the same time. No longer responsible for them. Just give them guidance. That's it. Can we get much higher? Man, what the hell happened to Kanye West, man? I think Kanye West, I mean, reality, I mean, okay, so I can understand what he's doing or why he's doing it. I can understand it. But man, Kanye West is just, I can understand it. What I don't understand is why is he complaining about it? Nobody told him, or at least I would assume nobody told him to date and have children with the biggest reality porn star turned reality TV star known as Kim Kardashian and her family. Her family together is probably worth trillions of dollars. And the industry, and they still have a lot of influence over the minds of young, pubescent women. So they're not going nowhere. I have no clue why he thought that when he had children with her, that they were not going to be a part of that world. I don't know what was going through his mind. I don't know what he thought was going to happen, but obviously the obvious happened. Obviously. His daughter is basically him. Basically. These are the children of two of the biggest pop stars that we have today, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. You don't think that you're gonna hide them all out in the woods and they're gonna be live in a cabin away from the media all their life? Like, come on, Kanye, that made no sense. So if you put all the pieces together, it's obvious why he's doing all that now. That Nazi stuff that he's doing now is obvious. He feels that that community is taking away his family. But again, you have to take some self responsibility on that one, Kanye. Who did you think you had kids with? Hmm. I wonder if this is a trap candle, man. I wonder if this is a trap. Is this a trap candle? Is this to get the bears short so they can hit them with a nasty green candle? Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah, Alfred. Isn't it crazy that I mean, and anybody that was with me this morning, isn't it crazy that we was talking about the devil and then the devil showed himself? Like when Smith showed me that stuff about Canada, I was like, dude, it's crazy. We was literally talking about that shit this morning. Literally talking about that. And then literally in the same session, Canada did exactly what I thought that they would do. It is so I find stuff like that crazy. They did exactly what I thought they do. And then I learned something else. Apparently, the president it's against the law for the president to drive. I didn't know that. I did not know it was against the law for the president to drive. They are not allowed. So there is not a law that officially disallow U.S. president from driving, but it is strongly discouraged and considered a bad idea due to security concerns. The Secret Service prefers to drive the president to ensure their safety. I did not know that about the yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, yeah, I thought that was crazy, man. I thought that was crazy. I mean, I thought that was crazy. One, because I mean, it just looked crazy, first off. Second of all, dude, I mean, people are attacking Tesla because they don't like Elon Musk or Trump. So for Trump to kind of to try to go and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm buying me a Tesla myself," like, dude, they don't like you neither. Like, I don't, I didn't get that stunt. It didn't make no damn sense at all. It made no sense. They don't like neither one of y'all. Now, if Obama did that shit, then okay, maybe. But dude, the only person that would have disarmed that was probably Obama, because he's basically the Democratic leadership at this point. He's the only Democratic leadership at this point that 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 appears to still have a lot of influence in that party. So much so that Obama and Michelle was basically campaigning for Harris during the run for presidency. So it's obvious that he still has a lot of influence in that party. But it seems like they don't have a competent leader. It just seems like the Democratic Party right now is suffering from a leadership issue. It was obvious. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was like, yeah. I was trying to figure out, dude, what the hell are you doing? That makes no damn sense. That makes no sense. But I get why he did it though. It just didn't make sense for him to do it because they don't like him either. Mm. So right now, if you're in this long, she's teasing you. If you're in this short, she's teasing you. The Nasdaq is definitely a tease. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. I mean, it should. I mean, it should. We should see a pullback, at least a small one. If not a big one, at least a small one. I mean, they're selling it off this trend line right here. I mean, you got what appears to be a strong high. You got the confirmation candle to sell. So I mean, everything with the short should line up, but it looks like she's kind of playing around with it a little bit. Mm. I mean, if they come back down here, they're breaking that. I'm break that. 405, 404. All right, so let's see if we can get this first target hit at least. Mm. I mean, at this point, at this point, I expect stuff like this always at the first target. It's always at the first one. So it missed me by a point and a quarter. Yeah, I wonder what support levels right here, and I wonder where it's at because you see how it's bouncing before it even it's trying to not hit that target. Like it's literally bouncing. I mean, where is it? Where is it bouncing at? Hmm, 72. It killed her to do that. You saw how depressed she was. It killed her to do that. It literally killed her. Hmm. Guys, give me a second. Nice. Oh, it's gonna kill her. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It killed her to touch that damn target. There she goes. Okay. There she goes. You was in this as well, Jeff? Or were you just talking about my target? Yeah, if he was talking about mine's, I mean, it's gotten to the point to where I'm so used to this crap now with the Nasdaq. She just, for whatever reason, just refused to touch that target, man. She just refuses to do it. And this is why nobody can convince me that she is not a living, conscious entity. Because she made this big giant candle, and where did she stop? At that first TP, and then she stopped at this TP. Like, dude, you can't make that crap up. Hmm. What I might need to do though is probably take off one more. Oh, really? Kind of explain what you're talking about. So you're saying that you're working with harmonics? Mm. Are you talking about like measured moves and stuff like that, or like what do you mean by harmonics? And I also find myself doing that as well, just trying out new things. Like right now, I'm in my one contract phase, I guess, back to that, and I realize how right you got to be and how right you have to be trading with 1 to 2 contracts. Like when I first started out trading, I only trade one contract. Let me take one more off here. I was too cautious. What's the right word I want to use? I don't want to use fearful. I was a more cautious trader. I think I'll use that term. I was more cautious. Trading more than one contract would send my heart rate going up. Now shit with Apex, y'all probably see me with 10 at sometimes because I'm not afraid of the size anymore. And I would only trade one contract, catching 50 plus points. Now it seems like I'm just too impatient to do that now because I'm so used to making more money with shorter targets and more contracts. I don't have to rely on just one contract. I can trade with multiple ones. And what that competition is showing me that, man, trading with one contract, you got to be strategic with your entries, your exits, and where you even get in at. You really have to not be tempted by the Nasdaq to get in anywhere because every point matters. Every point matters with one contract. Every single point. Elliot's and fibs, yeah. Okay, so your measure moves, yeah. Yeah, especially on the Nasdaq, they work. They definitely work. The ES, more measured moves. Fib levels don't necessarily work on ES from what I've seen. It's the measured moves work better on the ES, and the fibs work better on the Nasdaq. Mm. Yeah, if you can identify certain levels, so like fib levels, like a fib retracement, works really good on the Nasdaq. And I used to have a system where I would literally get in at the 23% and short the 23%. That's how simple my strategy was at one point in time. Because I realized earlier on that the market loved that 23% on the Nasdaq. And for whatever reason, I moved away from that strategy, even though it still works till this day. Even though it still works to this day. Let me see. That 23% does not play. You short at 23%, or you go long at a 23% when it's about to go short, and just say goodbye to that account. I mean, that's not a surprise. That 23% right there. How they found support, found resistance, and then turn around and found support at the 23%. That is not a surprise to me. Even if you go like right there, you can see that that 23% is added again. That 23% is added again. That's how simple my strategy was. I would just go short and long at the 23%. But I felt that that was kind of cheating. Or I didn't learn nothing if I did it that way, which is right. I mean, I didn't know anything. Only thing I knew was go long and short at 23%. I make money. But I'm glad I moved away from it because now I don't need it. I can just look at the charts and have a good idea of where the market's trying to go and where I should get in at. Which, if somebody were to come in and ask me, "Hey, why would you go long here?" I know why I'm going long, and I know why I'm going short for at least for the most part. Yeah. Do you trade the orb strategy as well? I was in one of these in one of the Furu's discords, and at the time I didn't know that he was using the orb strategy. He was telling us. It's not like he was lying about it or anything. But he had $100 a month Discord, getting people money with the orb strategy. Um, like I said, at the time I didn't know that's what he was doing, or I didn't fully understand what he was doing. I think I should say it like that. That open range breakout strategy is definitely a it's consistent. It's definitely consistent. I'll say that. It's definitely consistent. Oh, you don't know that one? It's if it breaks that high, so that open range, you're supposed to wait like 15 minutes or something like that. You're supposed to wait. Hold on. Let me see if or let me see if it did it at 8:30 when the market opens. All right, so you see this little range that it made right here. Made a small little range right here. And the open range breakout is either you go long if you see it break out, which if you went long, that would have been a good long right there. And if it broke down, you go short. And a lot of people use that strategy. I think Apex made a rule about that strategy, and I think they went back on it because a lot of people was utilizing that just for quick scalps and stuff like that. That open range breakout strategy. Like I said, I try to stay away from strategies that are that'll condition me to be a robot in terms of trading. I want to know why I take a trade. I want to know why. I want to see, okay, well, honestly, I would have lost this. I'm not going to sit here and say that I wouldn't have. I would have lost this trade. I would have gotten in this, but, well, actually, no. I mean, I wouldn't have, if this didn't double top right here, if this didn't double top, then I would have long this. If it didn't do this right here. Now, if it did this breakout and then it just came straight back, oh, I would have long that for sure. But because of this double top right here, I mean, it broke out, it pulled back, and then you had a double top. There's nowhere for the bulls to go. So I wouldn't have long that. I'd have been looking for shorts because there's nowhere for them to go. And so we're going to get a move right back down, and then they came right back up. But I mean, with the Nasdaq, I'm starting to see like certain patterns with her and like her tendencies of why and when she does certain things. I think at the end of the stream today, at the end of the stream, we had this big move right here. And if anybody caught that, I mean, hopefully y'all did, because I was like, let's wait and see if they're gonna buy at the bottom of this trend line. They literally bought it at the bottom of this trend line, and we had a big move up from here. I just made maximum daily profit on my account, so hopefully somebody took that trade right there because it's super worked out. No drawdown, no nothing, and it's super worked out. And the reason why I would have taken this trade was because of you had a break of structure, one, you broke out the downward trend, two, and then price is coming back to retest the bottom of that trend line. I mean, this right here is literally could be not could be an A plus setup right here. Just waiting for, I mean, if you're going to be patient, just waiting for the confirmed breakout, and then price is going to come back and test the bottom of that trend line. It always does. Not well, let me rephrase that. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that retest of that bottom of that trend line for the most part. And you're going to see a squeeze. That's an A plus setup right there. I mean, if you see the market trending in one direction, I mean, getting in at the top of those trend lines is definitely a good risk to reward trade. Because if the market is not going to break out above that trend line, well, this is going to keep getting knocked down. Trend lines with the Nasdaq is literally bread and butter. Literally. Now, I fight the trend sometimes. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't. But the only time, or at least what I'm looking for when I'm fighting the trend, is a slingshot reversal, which honestly I need to kind of stop looking for those big slingshot reversals and just trade the regular price action. Because even though I know this to be true, you make more money with these smaller moves than waiting for that big slingshot reversal going up 500 points. I mean, these things add up. They add up. Oh, so you're using algo? How's that algo working out for you? At one point in time, that was my goal, was to create, or was to actually code an algo and have it trade for me, because I misunderstood what algos are doing. Algos are not doing anything special. They're not doing nothing magical. There's nothing magical about algos or anything. What algos are doing is following your trade plan, which you can do. That's all these algos are doing, is following your trade plan. They only have the information that you provided. and it waits patiently and there's no emotions. That's why algos are very big in the trading space right now. And that's why it dominates the market because it takes the emotion out of trading. You're not doing nothing special. I promise you that. And once I fully understood that that's what algos are doing, I was like, nah, I don't grow if I let the algo do that. I need to learn how to follow my rules. I need to learn how to stop out. I mean, it's a challenge. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's easy. It's definitely challenging, but that's the point. I want to be confident to take the trade. I don't want it. I don't want the algo to do that. I don't want the algo to take away the glory of that dopamine hit where you actually follow your rules. You wait for your setup to hit. You enter. You get a perfect entry. You get a perfect exit. Man, that's a great feeling. And then you get confidence. And I mean, the more often you do that, you build your confidence, and then you start seeing the market. You start seeing the matrix. And then this thing just becomes an ATM that you can just literally sit in front of your desk and say, hey, I want $5,000 today. And you can literally extract that money from this market, literally extract that money. And that's what you gain when you just sit here and you do the work. No hate on anybody that uses algos, but I'm just sharing my experience and why I stopped. So I was going to code one. I definitely was going to code one because I thought it was magical, but they're not. They're just taking your trades for you. That's it. And stopping out where you should stop out at and getting in where you should get in at. That's all they're doing. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I kind of told y'all guys a story yesterday about my P&L. So I was able to lock in another payout this afternoon. So I locked that in, and so I'll be trading that account again tomorrow. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't put me in a live account yet. I'm honestly surprised. But I mean, shit, if they want to keep paying me, that's fine. They don't have to put me in a live account. I'll just extract their money from them. But yeah, I made about $900 yesterday in that account, and for whatever reason, they only have $260. It only shows that I only made $260. I was considering bringing that issue up, but at the same time, I mean, the only thing I care about is the payout. So as long as they did that, I'm not going to make a big deal about this unless it happens again. And it was a good thing that I logged back in because if I got overly emotional and try to revenge trade and stuff like that and try to get in heavy, if I did not keep my cool, I wouldn't have got paid out this evening. I wouldn't have got it because the market. Let me show y'all guys what it did. I mean, I talked about this yesterday, but this happened this morning, I think. Pre-market, or was it today? Or was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? Or was it today? I got paid out today, so I mean, anyway, I think it was yesterday. Because I could have sworn we had like okay, yeah, it was. All right, yeah, this was it. Yeah, this was it right here. If I went tilt and went heavy, I would have hit daily loss limit. Oh, that's interesting. Price is about to fill that. Okay, I'm gonna probably get out of this. Actually, I'm gonna probably get out. I'm gonna probably get out of this. I didn't know price was actually here, but yeah, I went long yesterday. I got the money that I needed to lock in the payout, but for whatever reason, it did not show up in my P&L. It actually showed that I was negative, even though I was positive. I got back in and I made $300 more, and then it said that I was still negative, and then I was like, okay, keep your cool. You probably have to go short here because I was gonna get back in long, but I was like, nah, this is a trap. And so I got back in short, and I was able to catch this drop. And finally, after this third attempt, a positive P&L balance actually hit my account, and I just locked everything down after that. And if it happens again, I'll make a big deal about it. Because like I said, I really don't. I mean, if they're going to ignore my account and keep paying me out, then that's fine. I don't want to bring any unnecessary attention to my account because I really don't want to go live either. But if it happens again, I'll have no choice but to tell them. Okay, so yeah, I might have to close out this. I might have to close this out. What's up, Gone? So says you're looking for 460. Oh, so you're in at 460 looking for 400. Hmm. You're gonna have to wait for this break of 440. That's what I'm waiting on. And then it might front run a 400 as well because price is about to run into this trend line. And this trend line is coming down from these highs. So if you got a target at 400, I'm not saying that it won't hit, but if we do see price come down, it might front run that 400 level, as the Nasdaq always tends to do. A good rule of thumb with the Nasdaq is that she always front runs the 100 level the first time. She always front runs it, always. She'll front run like 90, 95, and then she'll turn around. She never fills the gap on the first time either. We talked about I forgot what day this was, but when we talked about it, I was like, she's not going to fill this gap. She never fills the gap because the first time is always going to be a trap. I didn't think she was going to do all this. I thought she was going to drop, completely fill the gap, and then drop. But nah, she dropped. And she did not look back. She did not look back. Let me actually delete some of these drawings. And make sure I keep this thing clean. Yeah, I might either this thing comes back and stop me out, or we'll see. I don't even know why the hell that was even all the way up there. All right. But we probably might get a bounce at like maybe 405, 410, probably front running that 400 level the first time. And then if the bears fail to hold this level, which I doubt that they will, because it seems like the bulls are holding this area. I mean, there's a lot of support here. Reduce that down. I don't want to be up that high. Yeah, it looks like they're holding this area right here. So I would watch for a break. If we can get a break of this level, then we should see a flush. We should see that flush. But there's a lot of support right here holding the market up. But I mean, we did get this double top in this previous area of resistance right there. It's a lot to consider in this area right here. Yeah, I think that's probably like the best option. Yeah, Jeff, I used to trade crude too. And he says to play with crude, 5 minis inside a candle. Closes that place one tick above the sell. You know, with crude, for whatever reason, I just could never stomach trading heavy size. She moves too slow. I just could never trade heavy size, or not never trade. I did not feel comfortable trading heavy size with crude. You trade top step? Yeah, I trade 8:30 in the morning at New York Open. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah. And I think that's probably why I project the Nasdaq onto everything, even though I shouldn't. I know with crude and gold and ES, those instruments do not overshoot, but because my mind is geared to trade the Nasdaq, I find myself overthinking trades in all three of those instruments. So I was like, well shit, if I'm just gonna think about the Nasdaq, I might as well just trade only her. I might as well, right? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, like I said, crude and gold, those are both. I mean, I trade both of those instruments. Mm, I'm really, I, ain't- I well, I don't want to use strong words. I feel like it's trading those instruments are very easy if you're a technical trader. If you see the structure of the market and you trade it based off of its structure, I would say that it's very easy to trade. But I just don't like waiting. These are definitely slower markets. Just want to make my money, and that's it. And the Nasdaq does that for me. But as easy as you make the money, she'll definitely take it. She'll definitely take it. Man, what the hell? Oh, this sounds like, where the hell is my thing at? Hmm. Oh, you talking about going to jail, huh? NG stands for now go to jail. You logged in. Now go to jail. NG now go to jail. If you can catch NG when she moves, she's definitely good. I'm not gonna sit here and say that she's not, but man, are you gonna be married to her? Me and my trading partner started off on NG, and we started NG when she was moving. So we was under the false pretext that she was a mover. She is not a mover. She is not a mover. She moves when the hell she want to move. Not saying that you can't make money in that range that she likes to trade in, but no, that's not my style. I like to dance with the devil. That's what I like to do. And the Nasdaq is definitely the devil. She requires sacrifice. Mm. Oh, really? Mm. So, what is K9 cent work? What is that? And right now, I really don't have any other hobbies. I mean, shit. At this point, I would like to play blackjack, but I've come to the realization that card games can definitely be rigged, and I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm trying to win a losing game. Not saying that they're rigged, but I happened to come across a video, which is weird. I started watching a bunch of blackjack videos, and then I all of a sudden these guys showing card tricks where if somebody is really good at dealing cards, they can deal you a hand that will literally make you bet your entire life's work. That's how good these people are at dealing. And he demonstrated it too. So it wasn't something that came out of his ass. He demonstrated it. And he dealt out four hands, and every single one of them were good. So if and I'm not going to sit here and be so naive to think that uh, this is probably one of the edges that casinos have. Because if cards are all statistic based and it's supposed to be a game of if it's all supposed to be a chance, how highly unlikely for you to get a straight flush? How high? I mean, it happens, yeah, but it's highly unlikely, especially if you're playing with other people. And for you to get like a really good hand like that, that should be a red flag. It should always be a red flag. Or how these online casinos, how the freaking dealer is always getting 20s. They don't get 21s because you might start to suspect something, but they'll start off with two and then they'll end up with 20 and they beat everybody's hands and everybody loses. And it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, if these NPC dealers are so good at always getting 20s, why the hell are they working as an NPC dealer? But yeah, this guy's videos really put things into perspective. So now I can never go. I would never go out and play card games knowing that they can be rigged like that. I watch other people lose their money, but I'm not interested in losing mine. I don't mind losing if the game is fair, but if the game is not fair, then I'm not interested in none of that. Oh, do you, Nate? Yeah, Griff can trade. They definitely are. Oh shit. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah. And that card stuff is crazy, man. Once he showed me, like, dude, like once I seen, if I can find that video, I'll show it. I'll show it if I can find it. But man, he gave out four different really good hands that if you got dealt these cards, and I mean, your emotions would take over and say, bet everything, because there's no way that the dealer can beat this hand. And of course, the dealer dealt himself the hand that would beat every single one. Of course, he dealt himself that. And once I saw that, I was like, yeah, I can't play cards. I can't. Because I see it happen on these online casino videos where these guys have good hands and they still get beat. They can have 21 and the dealer has a hidden blackjack. And it's like, yo, what's the odds of that? Like, what are the odds? What are the odds of that? Yeah, when the odds are stacked in your favor. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Nate. Actually, I'm thinking about actually closing this right now as soon as I get off the stream. I think I'll take this money. Actually, I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna take this. I'll take it. I'll take it because I really don't want to. I really don't want to go to bed with this position running overnight. Which I mean, it still can work. I'm only taking it because I want to go to sleep tonight, and I'm about to get off stream because I don't want to be dreaming about this position if it worked or not. But I mean, kind of going back on the recap on this one. I mean, what I want to start doing now is really trusting the trend lines. And again, the trend lines. I mean, the trend lines have been pretty accurate. I mean, I don't think there hasn't been a situation where they haven't been. They've been pretty accurate. But I mean, if you have this trend line drawn out, you saw that the market was. This is where it rejected, even though it was playing around with it, even though it showed some signs of bullishness literally right here at that trend line, which I think price pushed it over a little bit. Yeah. This is what we're looking for right here. We're looking for a break. So Guan, this is what we're looking for. You're looking for a break here. Because if it breaks here, then it's gonna flush. Don't get trapped though. I will wait for the break and then the retest, the short. Anyway. Yeah, this candle right here probably tricked a lot of people out of this position right here. That candle. Yeah. Yeah, I did too. And I thought I was in trouble for like a 2 seconds. I was like, man, The technicals are saying that this thing is going to go down. I just got to trust in the charts on this one. Good thing I did because I got my money back. Mm. Man, I kind of want to do it with this thing. All right. Okay. So let's see. I want to scale into this thing. If we see a break, and I'll have a tight stop on this, like a super tight stop. But this thing just needs to break, and it needs to break fast. Dude, yeah, dude, yeah. Yeah, go on, yeah. It's testing. If this breaks, we'll see a flush. But Nate, yeah, I think that's exactly what's highly likely to happen is that tap in moon. Cause I mean, you know what? Hmm. Hmm. If this was anything else other than the Nasdaq, I would be concerned. But I don't like the fact that it made a lower high. I don't like that. Usually lower highs like this are traps on the Nasdaq. They're usually traps. But then at the same time they can work. If this was the ES, this is definitely a trap. That's a trap. That's to get the bears in short so they can moon you right here as support. Because if it's a real short, then we all know that shorts they look like this. They know they look like a double top looks like that. And then that reversal down. Double tops don't look like this. They don't. So we'll see. No way. No way. No. 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 No way. No way. No way. No way. Huh. Let's see if it's going to play games here. What I don't like is that it didn't flush. That's what I don't like. I don't like that it didn't flush. Actually, let me look at the volume real quick. Mm. Come on, Nasdaq. It's all right. You can flush. Go ahead, flush. You say you're aiming for 348. Damn. You aiming all the way down here? Well, why are you aiming for 348? What's down here? Okay, I can see. Okay. Well, 348. You might run into some trouble at 360. Just be mindful of that. You might run into some trouble at 360. Hmm. I'm not going to move my stop. I'm just going to take the loss if it hits me. Because I was looking for a flush here. Now this thing looks like it wants a freaking moon. Damn it. I am not above buying into my own stop. I am not above buying into my own stop. I'll do it. I will do it. Because, I mean, if they hold this, that was a sweep and this thing's going right back up. Yeah, that was, yeah, it's looking that way. Yeah, that wick tells me that they're buying here. Okay. Mm. I'm trying to figure out. All right, fine. Mm. Okay. Well, but what I won't be, I'm not going to sit here and be ping pong back and forth. So this is what I will say. If you're in this short, this, I mean, we all saw what happened. So just be mindful with it. Don't readjust your stops. Stop out where you need to stop out at, because I mean, it did exactly what I thought it'd do. I was hoping that we would probably see more of a flush, but we didn't. But I mean, the Bulls bought right back into that area right here. I mean, when this wick tells the tail, they bought it right back into this area of support. And I should have went with my initial instinct about this lower high. I should have went with it, but I was like, with the Nasdaq, you just don't know. You really don't. Yeah, if I get stopped on this one, I'll just come back tomorrow. I'm not gonna play ping pong with the Nasdaq all night. I will say that my feelings will be hurt if this thing stopped me out and then this thing just flushes down. Uh, hmm, 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 hmm. What? If it doesn't short right here, then are we about to see that flush though? Hmm. All right, yeah, this will be my absolute last trade right here. Either this thing flushes or it's gonna pop and stop me out, and I'm just gonna come back tomorrow. I'm not gonna give this thing too much room because I mean, right now it should be flushing. If it wants to flush, then it should flush. I give this 2 more points. If it wants to flush, it should flush right here. I'll give this trade like 5 more minutes. Okay. All right. That's it for me, guys. I'll just come back tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow. All right, guys, that's it. We'll definitely come back. We'll get this money back. It's just a roadblock or a little road bump right now, but we'll definitely get this money back. And with that said, have a good night, everybody. Peace out.